ShinRobjira.
Today we are going to be taking a look at the Bandai Ultra Monster Series 500, number 147 Golbar, number 148 Darrgon, and number 149 Meruru. Up first we'll be talking about Golbar. Golbar is a fusion of the monster Golza and Mebla from Ultraman Tiga, both of which premiered in episode 1, The One Who Inherits Light. Taking a look at Golbar's tag over here, we can see a much better picture of him, how he really looks, how he looks in the show, and he is just ghastly. Imagine if Destroya were a mutant chicken. That's the way I'd honestly describe this guy. A giant mutant Destroya chicken, right out of H.R. Giger's asshole right there, and just really, really cool looking. On the back of the tag here, we have the exact same stuff that we've been getting, and on the inside, we just get this little barcode. Chickens! And here we have our boy Golbar up close in the flesh, and as you can see, there is a lot of really fantastic detail working on over here. I especially love all the detail under the hood of the beak over here, moving on to the guy's face. It just looks like a very bad fusion job went wrong, but it's almost working enough to be a threat. I mean, if you've seen the episode, you know that this guy is no pushover. Beautiful, amazing detail on the face, on the chest, on the wings over here, especially the wings. I just love how fleshy and used they look. Same could be said for the chest over here. This just looks so awesome. The arms and the legs pretty much look exactly the same. They are this deep navy blue with a whole bunch of wrinkles and rocky formations and little bulbs on there that are supposed to be white. And yeah, he's got toes and stuff under his feet and such. The back of the figure does feature some details, but what I find to be the most impressive when it comes to details is just how the tail looks. This looks so very good. The way that it wrinkles and bunches up in certain areas, it looks like I'm holding a miniature version of the suit. And I happen to love every little bit of that. Even when looking at little areas over here by the waist, and even on the underside of the wing/arm. I just really love how this figure looks, and it's pretty ironic. When I first saw that this figure was released, the first thing I said was, nah, I'll pass. Then I watched the first episode of Ultraman Trigger like 5,000-6,000 times, and I grew to love this mutant little chicken dinosaur thing. And upon first getting this guy out of the shipping box, I fell in love instantaneously. I really do enjoy this figure a lot. I do wish, however, the extra set of eyes up here were painted, but I am so glad that the beak was still painted. Of course, this being a 500 series figure, you can see that the figure is of course half painted and missing a lot of paint apps. I'm not so much upset about this, it's more so the eye, and I do wish this area up here was painted silver, kind of like how the wings are outlined with silver over here. I do think that really would have tied this figure together. I mean, just look at that tag. All I needed were the eyes and a little bit more of that silver, and I would have been golden, pony boy. I could live without the claws being painted, I could live without the toes being painted, I could live without all these little bulbish eye-looking things not being painted. Just give me the outline and the eyes, and I would have been super. In terms of paint, my favorite new mutant chicken boy is going to get half a star, but in terms of detail, he's going to get a full star. Just ultimately expect that from most 500 series figures, just because the paint is always kind of going to be halfy, but the detail is always going to be full. And with that being said, let's take a look at articulation. Now, at first, I thought the arms would be articulated at the elbows, or at least over here at the biceps, but no, they are articulated at the wings over here, which I really do enjoy. It doesn't break the mold up too much, and it just looks normal. Even when posing the arms a little bit more forward, it just looks nice. Though if the articulation were over here at the tops of the shoulders, it still would have looked good, but this, I feel, just adds for more personality, you know? There will be nothing at the waist, surprise, surprise. But surprise, surprise again, you will get articulation at the tail. Was expecting the arms, was expecting the waist, wasn't expecting the tail. So since I got one thing that I wasn't expecting, but didn't get another thing that I was expecting, but I'm very much happy with the thing that I wasn't expecting, ouch, ooh, I'm going to give articulation a full star. Here is how tall our favorite new mutant Chicky Fry is going to be. Now let's move on to the next figure. Don't worry, I'm doing size comparisons at the end of the video with all of them together. Number 148 over here, Darrgon, is the Ultraman Trigger universe counterpart of Darrgon from Ultraman Tiga, the Final Odyssey movie. And he's just this big, brutish boy. In fact, in the Ultraman Tiga universe, when Tiga was still evil and a total jerk, he actually stole the powers from Darrgon Darrgon over here, and that's how he got his power type form. The same for Hudra or Hudram with the sky type for Tiga. So essentially, I guess the same thing happened with Trigger, but we haven't gotten that far in the series yet. Although in episode 2, this guy over here did show some familiarity with Trigger, his ultimate rival. So I'm curious to see why they're rivals. If this tag doesn't say Evil Bruiser Dark Titan, I don't know what else would. That is just some amazing promo images here for Darrgon. I love it. I really, really do. Red Thunder, evil looking knight, looking head, looking. Absolutely nothing on the back, and nothing of note inside the tag. Jarring the Brawler. Now, Darrgon might be one heck of a brawler, but he is missing paint as per the 500 line norm. We're going to be missing paint over here towards the waist area. Both black and red paint is missing. We're going to be missing a lot of red paint over here on his thighs, his boots, and his feet. Obviously, the gauntlets are only going to be half painted, and we are missing silver on the gauntlets as well. And when it comes to the back of the figure, we're missing a bunch of paint too. Although, fun little quip for all of you out there. Looking on the inside of the figure, you can see that it's actually silver. Silver and very, very shiny. Now, what exactly does that mean, and what kind of importance does it have to the review, Rob? Well, that essentially means that the figure was cast in a silver vinyl, and all the black that we see is actually painted on. And not gonna lie, the paint application for the black really isn't too bad. A little messy here and there, but would have fooled me. I would have thought that the silver would have been painted on. Darrgon is one evil-looking boy. Look at those eyes, look at this mouth, look at these devilish horns over here. It's all looking really, really fantastic. Love the very spawn-looking eyes, and I love the red that is surrounding the yellow as well. Little bit on the messy side, but I can even see the movie Monster series making that a bit of a mess, just because, look at that, that's small. The application process for that must have been hell. Oh god, I forgot what the gems on the foreheads are called. Future Rob. It looks nice, it's a little bit on the messily painted side, but again, very, very small, $4 or $5 figure. The red on the head is rather nicely done, again, a little bit on the messier side, but god look at all of that fantastic detail, so deliciously evil. Don't think I mentioned it, but we are missing paint on the shoulder pauldrons over here, needs more red. But again, look at all of this lovely detail for the chest area. So very nice. I do believe this is his color timer. Got some red in there with the metallic blue. A little bit on the spottier side. Would have really, really loved if there was more black and red over here. I guess this just further speaks to the point that this figure was cast in a silver vinyl, because look at all of that. But yeah, the detail far exceeds any need of complaining, for me at least, for there to be more paint over here. That, however, changes on the arms over here. Yet again, very beautiful detail, but I am never going to get used to literally seeing it stop at the midway point. I really am never going to be able to get over that, for reals. And of course, there will be no major paint on the back aside from the silver that it is casted in. The sides and backs of the legs are actually still painted black, so at least there is that. But yeah, I will agree that the legs could have used a little bit more red. I like this one streak is okay. It doesn't really quench my thirst
for the crimson red stuff.
Paint. But again, the detail really does make up for that of lack of paint. Although I really would have loved to see how that red would have looked on this shiny silver. So yet again, paint, half a star, detail, full star. Let's take a look at articulation, huh? Dark Giant Darrgon can go all the way around at the arms as per the Ultra norm, and he may spin at the vest. Absolutely all the articulation a $4 to $5 figure needed. Gonna give it a full star. Here is how tall our Dark Giant Darrgon will be. Here he is with Camilla. And multi-type Trigger. And movie Monster Series Shin Man. That's a tall, noodly, lanky boy. Oh yeah, and these guys. Number 149 Meruru, or Malulu over here, is a humanoid alien Metron that originally premiered in the Ultra 7 episode, The Marked Town. Episode 8, to be exact. Now, in Ultraman Trigger, Meruru over here is actually this dripped-out alien friend that is going to be helping the Guts Select and Ultraman Trigger out, and just look at this figure, man. This is awesome. Meruru over here is already getting a lot of merchandising, and I can foresee a heck of a lot more merchandising being made of this lovely little individual. The plushie is just adorable, and if those other Trigger plushies actually come into stock, I'm probably going to get all of them together. Future review. But anyway, let's take a look at this tag. Absolutely zero emotion shown, but I just find this picture so adorable because from afar it really does look like they're smiling. Just like a big dopey smile, big adorable lit up eyes. It's really, really nice. And it's also really cool to see an Ultra Monster 500 series tag without any of the crazy lightning or foreboding background to the tag. Here, it's just the base, the Gut Select base, and yeah, it's really cool, very colorful. Absolutely the exact same thing on the back of the tag, exact same thing on the inside of the tag, save for the number, and this ETT is phoning home. Get it? ETT? Extraterrestrial tag? I'm sorry. Now, Meruru over here is pretty simple in design, and the paint is pretty simple in and of itself. It's very, very well done, though. Apparently, this is normal for the eyes, just to have the circle in the center, but to have the pupil kind of leaning towards the inner part of the eye. I guess that's just how he's going to look in the show. I mean, we've seen him in the show already, and the light kind of like, you know, goes more towards the side over here, so I guess that's what it's trying to encapsulate. I do believe the little dots here are all supposed to be painted black, like some of the ones in the center are, but they're all not. But I am not going to take points off for it because you will see why in a few seconds. Look at the back of the head over here, though. It's like a mustard corn dog from the depths of the ocean. Looks like a giant tentacle for the back of the head. And speaking of the back, you already saw it, but look at that. The entirety of the back is painted. There are a few areas that are not painted, but the design on the back of this jacket for this $4 to $5 figure of Metron 7 on the back is just so very well done. Yes, it's a bit on the messy side, but the fact that this is coherent, the fact that it looks as good as it does, already nabs this figure a full star in terms of paint. Good stuff there, Bandai. We're taking a closer look at the figure, and we've got red over here that is a little bit weak over here. I don't care, still full star in terms of paint. The upper sleeve over here is red, but won't be red on the inner side. I mean, let's be honest, you're not going to be seeing that anyway. The little stripes over here are not painted, and I do believe they are painted. Throw the design up over here, Future Rob. Are they painted? Yeah, all right. Painted on detail for the 7, or the backwards F, is very, very nice. We have the details for the buttons and the areas where the buttons go. Really, really, really nice detail. And we have the legs with the burgundy for the sneakers. Not too much going on the back of the legs or the sneakers. The sneakers are nicely detailed, though. You can see all the laces. Eee. And just to give another profile shot, Meruru over here is rather handsome. Or beautiful, on both sides, rather handsome or beautiful. Got a bit of the Vegeta's Widow Peak going on over here. Ugh, Kakarot. And for the most part, Meruru is going to be getting a full star in terms of detail as well. Just honestly, one of the better all-around Ultra 500 series figures that I've seen thus far. Truly, look at this thing, it's awesome. Now, let's take a look at articulation. Now, I was expecting 2 points of articulation with this figure. The waist and the arms. The arms can go up and around like any Ultra 500 series figure would, but I would not recommend doing that for sake of, like, you know, the paint over here getting scraped off. We don't want that, so just go back and forward about that far. You'll be fine. Of course, they can do that on both sides, but unfortunately, there will be no articulation at the waist. But I don't really care. I'm a total fanboy of Meruru or Malulu, and I am going to give articulation a full star because arms is all I would really pose with these figures anyway. And when it comes to this figure, I can't really see me posing it too often. And that will nab Meruru or Malulu 3 full stars. And now we're kicking up the size comparisons, and I am very, very impressed with Bandai's Ultra Monster series releases here. They're all really, really great looking despite really lacking in the paint department, but Meruru or Malulu really impressed me, and these figures are just, they're coming out at a very lightning fast rate, and I feel like they're only getting better in terms of the paint. Yes, I know, I say this every freaking video, I have to learn to expect the half-painted nature, but I'm starting to get used to it, yes, but I'm actually really starting to fall in love with the designs. I'm starting to fall in love with the half-painted paint jobs, for the monsters at least. For the Ultras, they look a little bit more on the noticeable side, unfortunately, but the monsters are just fully coming through, looking really, really great, and I'm turning into an Ultraman triggered, like, total fanboy here. All the figures so far are really, really fun, save for Trigger multi-type. But yeah, these figures look great with a variation of different figures, as they normally do. And that's it. That's all I have to say on these three lovely figures. I do so hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more that goes into the production of these videos, you should totally check out my Patreon. You should totally join the Discord page, because that Discord page is on fire. Big love out to the mods over there for keeping it safe for everybody. Thank you guys. And yeah, I'll see you all on Friday for my long-awaited SH Monster Arts Shin Godzilla reissue re-review. And that is going to be one doozy of a video, I'll tell you that. So I hope you're looking forward to it, and I will see you all then at the premiere. Peace out, everybody.